Greetings from Podcastville. Let's get the fucking bong hit going together. The Espiritos Malos out of the way. There you go. It's Monday, the 24th of February. Who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by, unless you've been living under a rock, I hope you heard about MeUndies. They're going for the total undie domination. If you look at the underwear drawer, it's all MeUndies. And they're not going to stop till they get every podcast listener to start wearing them. I've been slinging their fucking panties for years, cocksuckers. My drawers are fucking packed with them. And I'll tell you what, they keep your balls clean, nice smelling. I don't know what it does. I don't know what's in on MeUndies. It's the fabric. It's the micro modal fabric. It keeps that whole area dry. There's some nights, 11:30, I do a little fucking nut test. I scratch and I take a little whiff. Voila. I mean, it ain't fucking an incense, but it ain't killing nobody either. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. Go to MeUndies right now. .com and look at the great selection of underwears they got. Matching underwear, fucking socks. Listen, just start with the fucking underwear and you're going to be fucking happy. Go to MeUndies.com right now /Joey and get 15% off and free shipping on your first motherfucking purchase. Plus you get the MeUndies 100% satisfaction guarantee. All right, who's better than them? Nobody. Go to MeUndies. Today's guest is my main man, the fucking ultimate New Yorker, Mr. Sam Morril. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me on, man.
What's up, my brother?
This is great. I use one of those CBD bath bombs the other night, man. Fucking, I don't take baths, but I get back. You do the road all the time. You get back problems and shit.
You know, it's really weird that I lift on Mondays and Thursdays, and both those women fucking break my back. And I'll go home and do some downward dogs or whatever, and I'm good.
Yeah.
If I go to that coffee shop and I sit there and I try to write for a couple of days, that's the worst my back gets.
Really? Yeah, me too.
Writing destroys my back.
Me
destroys
too.
my back. I could go lift a fucking house for an hour, and the next day, yeah, I got a little back pain because your muscles are sore, but it's not. When I sit there, it just kills me. And I put a timer on it.
Yeah.
You got an hour and 15.
I got one of those half balls I sit on. Those half balls, so it forces you to kind of sit up.
How's that working?
I don't know. I'm still a weak Jew. I still have like the weak frame of just like I'm not, I think it's just another thing that makes you feel better, but it's not really helping.
You've been on fire lately. You've been doing really well lately.
Thank you, man.
Proud of yourself? You're back.
No, I can't feel it.
It's, you know, I mean, you're in a fucking great movie, Joker.
Thank you.
You're on some Showtime show, so you're making little moves.
Little things.
And I hate when comics really, and I do the same.
Yeah.
When we really don't grasp what we're doing, we're laying down little things. You know?
It's hard to feel it. It's hard to feel the good.
How was the reaction to you being in the Joker?
It's probably the most messages I've ever gotten in my life because for some reason Todd Phillips just kept my real name in the movie. So after I get off stage, the host goes, "One more time for Sam Morril." So everyone's like, "Wait, what?" So I like childhood friends be like, "You were in the fucking Joker?" I didn't tell anyone I was in it because I was just doing stand-up. So I was like, why would they keep me in? You know, I was shooting it all day and it's a real crowd. So I'm doing a different set every take because I didn't want to have them fake laugh. So I was like, let me do a new joke every take. So they're actually laughing. And then Chris Redd is hosting, the comic Chris Redd. So he's hosting. So he's getting so annoyed with me because I get to do new bits every take. And he's just like, "One more time for Sam Morril." That's his only line, is just to say my name. And then he introduces the Joker on stage who bombs. So it was, to me, I was like, well, yeah, I get to do material, but you're going to make the movie and I'm not. So I didn't tell anyone I was in it because I just assumed they were going to cut me.
And boom, there you are.
They didn't. Yeah. You don't really see my face. You just hear me tell a joke. But I was like, that's my joke. That's cool.
Did you go to the premiere and the whole thing?
No, I didn't get invited to the premiere.
They didn't invite you to the cast and crew? Nothing?
No, I have such a minor part.
It doesn't matter. That's crazy. How did you cast the part?
Todd Phillips called me, the director, and he just said, I like your stand-up because you're not like, he said something like along the lines, you're not cutesy on stage. You feel like very you. You're just like, I think you're just you on stage, and I appreciate that.
Did you send it a tape or anything?
No, I didn't. I think
just called you out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
That's a knockout.
I think they asked for an agency for a bunch of tapes, and he came across mine. He's like, oh, I like this guy.
Good for you.
So it was me and Gary Goldman that he liked.
Gary was in it. Mark Moran was in it.
Yeah. Brian Callen was in it.
Brian Callen was in it.
Greer Barnes. A lot of comics. Pretty cool that Todd Phillips does that.
It's weird how the business has changed. If you're in you could have been let's say you would have had a half hour on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And you pop a fucking movie role.
Yeah.
30 years ago, you start selling out every weekend.
Yeah, I did a half hour. No one can find it because it's on Comedy Central. I did an hour. Nobody can find it because it's on Comedy Central. And then, now this one they put on YouTube so people can find it,
It's so weird. A year ago, I bumped into some guy and he goes, I'm not doing a podcast anymore. And I go, why not? He goes, because I tried it for 2 years and I didn't sell any more tickets. I go, so you did the podcast with tickets in mind.
Right.
You weren't just doing it to add to your, your arsenal of things.
Right.
He goes, yeah, I just wanted to give it a shot, and blah, blah, blah. It's so weird how I felt about it because I feel that everything you do adds to your arsenal. That little part, 10 years from now, might become something completely weird. And 30 years from now, when you're broke, and they're doing Joker conventions, and you're showing up, and you're going, you're Sam Morril, and you're like, yeah, $10 a picture. And, it always comes back. Like, it's so weird how we look at minor things. Like, I have a million things out there, TV shows. Where I brought in a box of mail, I delivered something, somebody signed, But now, looking back at it, I was just getting stronger. Yeah. And stronger and stronger. There's a million things. Right?
That's a great attitude.
And then I got 2 lines. And then for a year, I would book movies, and they were always one day. What the fuck? Yeah. I'm One Day Joe. That's it. And they would either be the first scene with the credits rolling through it, or the last scene where the credits rolling through it. I did like a year of those. Yeah. Then I started booking two days on a film. All right, we're getting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? 2 days. Then I booked like 11 on one. I was like, okay, now. But it's like everyone counts towards something.
Yeah, you're also just getting better and more comfortable in your own skin. I think each thing that like I'm doing Conan on Tuesday, and it's my 6th time on Conan, and I'm kind of
no shit.
So I think about each of those times, and the first time I was so nervous, and the second time I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have a couple scotches before I go on. I think I can handle this. And then each time I just kind of like, I used to run them so hard every set, like it meant like, and they still mean a lot to me. Each set means something to me, but they're just like, I don't really. I'm just not nervous. I'm just like, well, I prepare. It's in my nature to prepare for the set. So I'm going to prepare, but I'm going to do everything I can do. Don't kill yourself. I used to kill myself over it.
28 years, I just stopped killing myself.
Yeah.
I just figured out that you work, you write, the material is there. Yeah. Deliver it, do the best you can. Know what you're going to go up there and say, know what you're going to end with. Yeah. And just go. With specials, I'm in my head. I analyze every word, and for no reason.
No, you should analyze every word, I think. But I think...
I know what you said.
Don't kill yourself, but yeah, like...
I do analyze it, but with a special, I overanalyze it.
That's fair.
And that's not right. The other night I was watching Creed 2. Yeah. It's on TV, Friday night. My daughter's running around, whatever. And there was just every one of those Sylvester Stallone movies. They're not Academy Award winners, but he always says one thing in those movies that you go, huh? And the kid was saying something, the black kid, Michael
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, tremendous.
He's awesome.
And he goes, you know what, you're thinking too much. Just say what's in your heart. And that's what stand-up.
We were talking about Walt Frazier earlier before the podcast, and the legendary Nick, and he always says when players are shooting badly, he always goes, he's aiming his shot, and that applies to stand-up. aiming your shot means you're thinking. You know, you got to trust the muscle memory. Did you practice? If you practice, you don't have to think. You just do it. You know, the same with stand up. You practice as much as you practice, but then you got to like free yourself a little and be you. Like you're funny. That's why you're there. You know what I mean? So if you write the jokes and you focus on the jokes, be free. Don't be. It's almost like you're too tight sometimes.
Like for specials, I was depending too much on what was on the paper.
Right.
And I wouldn't break away from that. And that's not who I am.
Right.
That's not who I am.
I think you need to do like 6 shows. You need to do like a full weekend with a camera crew.
I enjoy doing a joke and then sometimes taking it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And taking it to a story and then coming back to that joke and then going somewhere else.
Yeah.
With specials, I felt was too scripted. It was a TV show. I couldn't have a dull moment in my head. I appreciate dull moments. There's nothing like digging yourself out of a hole. There's nothing like banging them out and then somewhere at the 12-minute mark dying for a minute or two and then digging your way out of the hole and closing it out with a fucking baboom, you know?
I like an uncomfortable moment in a special.
So do I. I like an uncomfortable moment in every time I do a spot.
Yeah.
I take every spot seriously, and I'm really good with the economy of words.
Yeah.
I understand the economy of words. I understand when I go home and listen to like a fucking recording and I shouldn't have said that word there. That word belongs here. I like all that stuff. You're a phenomenal writer.
Thank you.
I'm not a writer like you.
But you are a writer. You're a storyteller,
I'm
right?
a storyteller.
But you told a story on Ari's show once that was so moving and funny. You know, it was about, I'm trying to remember the exact story, but it was about an older woman in your life.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
My mom's friend, yeah.
It was incredible. And it was so, I mean, you have the ability to connect that is, it was heavy. I love a story that's funny, but also is like, fuck, that kind of affected me a little.
I think that sometimes comedy comes in a heavy dose and you don't see it. I like breaking down comedy in a heavy dose. I want to tug at your strings. We're talking about Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
He tugs at your heart every movie that he does.
I didn't see the second Creed, but the first one, the whole cancer plot, I was like, that was a fucking beautifully...
He tugs at your heart. Every movie he does. I just watched the last Rambo. I was bored one Friday. There's a great movie theater up here in North Hollywood. They have like $8 tickets. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, everything he does, like, he always leaves you with something.
Right.
You know, it's hard. I know he's fucking 64, and even he knows he's 70 in that movie.
Yeah.
He's not doing hand-to-hand comedy. He's not trying to be John Wick. He did different things to fuck him up, and he outwitted them. But whatever. I don't know how the fuck we got talking on Sylvester Stallone. You're a great writer, and
Thank you.
That means you sit down every day.
I try to sit down every day, and I've been bad lately, but I usually have like a routine. I'll try to just, go to the coffee shop. I'll take a walk. I'll do whatever I can do. I listen to sets like you were just saying. I hear, sometimes I'll hear a word. I'm like, oh, that could like go in this direction. I can kind of come back, to the bit. So yeah, I think it's funny you brought up Stallone because he really, I heard, I don't know if this, I think that it's true that with Rocky, they told him not to be Rocky, right? And they're like, we'll give you way more money if you're just out of the movie and we cast a movie star. And it's like, who the fuck else could you picture as Rocky now?
If you even knew the choices they were looking at.
Who were they looking at?
Burt Reynolds.
Dustin Hoffman.
No, it was Burt Reynolds, somebody else. But the main guy they were looking at was the guy that was married to Farrah Fawcett.
Wow.
Ryan O'Neal. That would have been a fucking shame. It was like,
Isn't that weird?
Robert Redford. But their first choice was far from who. And then what people don't know is when Rocky got shot, like Rocky was one of those movies that they called you and they said, you're in it. But something happened along the way with the money. And then they called back and said, shooting starts next week. And people were like, I already booked the job.
Yeah.
It's like Apollo Creed, Mickey, and Paulie were booked the Friday before the Monday.
Oh, my God.
Like something fucking outrageous. Something just
And you don't know that phone call changes the course of your career. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like it was supposed to be Ken Norton up to that weekend. Something happened to Ken Norton.
Wow.
So that guy had to play Creed. And I don't know who the original Mickey was. I don't really know. Just little stories like that.
Damn, dude.
I like that scene he does when he goes and sees the shorts. He goes to right before she moves in.
Adrian.
He goes to the Spectrum. And he tells the dude, hey, my shorts.
I don't remember this.
It's not the fucking color. My shorts are red with a blue trim.
The poster.
These are blue with a red trim.
Right.
The guy takes a puff of the cigar and he goes, it really doesn't matter, son, does it? And that just tapped into his fucking South Philly side. And he goes back and he wakes her up. And he tells her, I can't fucking do that. They had to do that in one take because they were out of film.
Wow.
So next time you see Sylvester Stallone and you want to make your little fucking stupid remarks that most people make, think about somebody telling you, we got one shot left.
Yeah.
It's got to be perfect.
I'm a fan. You hear the Rocky music, it's like hearing the Star Wars music. That's like when they remade Creed and I just heard the music, I was like, fuck, there's like an American mythology that you like taps into your heart a little bit. You're made of stone. You're an asshole if you feel nothing.
It's
because it's the best music.
It changed America. I remember going to that movie theater, the home movie theater. That was one of those movies I saw in Union City, New Jersey, at a movie theater called the Cinema. El Cinema. It was in a Cuban neighborhood, and fucking the whole place was on their feet. The whole place.
Yeah.
There were 2 movies I seen in that movie that the whole place were on their feet at the end. Rocky and
Birth of a Nation.
No, The Longest Yard.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They were on the edge of their feet.
Yeah.
200 kids yelling, mean machine, just yelling it. That the ushers had to come out. Popcorn was getting thrown. We were going fucking nuts. But that was a different era. I saw Rambo 2 in Washington Heights.
Damn.
On 107, like 180th on the corner.
Nice.
There's it's like a big cross street, and there used to be a black movie theater there.
I think I went to a vegan restaurant there recently.
Yeah,
how fucking funny is that?
That's how fucking crazy
yeah,
that is.
It's changed.
But there was a movie theater there, and there was 2 of them on that block.
Yeah.
There was one on the corner that showed modern movies, and if you walk down a little bit, there was one that was 2 movies for $5, smelled like sperm. People just went in there in the afternoons to keep warm and jerk off. The floors were sticky. But across the street there was a Carvel. And they would let you go in there with your little Carvel shake and watch the movie.
And if you step in it, you're just like, I just fucking hope that's Carvel.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
You would sit there and your feet would just stick in. And, at night it was like a porn place, but in the daytime it was like, Thief of Hearts and like Office and a Gentleman for $5.
I like an old movie theater, man. There's something cool about about seeing like Casablanca or something like real old in a movie theater. You see a black and white film on a big screen, you're like, fuck, this is how you got to see it. Something about watching at home, you just don't. You connect so much harder in a theater, man.
I really enjoy going to see all these films with my daughter. I went to see that one yesterday, and I basically sat down, caught one upcoming trailer, and I fell asleep. I sat by myself. My wife, and there was only...
What movie?
The one with Harrison Ford and the dog. Whatever, the wild one, whatever the fuck that is.
I don't know. Do you know they play like 30 minutes of trailers at AMC now? It's the greediest shit I've ever seen. There's commercials, and then there's 30 minute of trailers, and you're like, dude, I didn't expect to be... This is an hour and a half movie. I'm going to be here close to, 2.5 hours now. It's crazy.
It's really crazy how the whole theater experience has changed.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you had you didn't have the chains, you had your big movie theater. But then you also had the community movie theater where the movie wasn't hot anymore. This was the 4th week. If you wanted to pay the $4 to see it, you already paid it. Now it's down to like $2. Smaller place. I like those. I grew up in those. I think the neatest movie theater I ever went to was San Francisco In 85, I went to see Mask. And this movie theater had couches.
And sticky floors.
No.
Spotless.
Yeah. The place was spotless.
Yeah.
And the kitchen was spotless. And they made chocolate chip cookies from scratch.
Yeah.
Right out of the oven.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. This was tremendous. And they made popcorn. And you would see the lady putting a stick of butter in the heater.
Yeah.
And melting real butter. I mean, this was legit.
You know what I like in a movie theater? A movie theater that sells like cashews, because you know you're going to get like a documentary or a good foreign film.
Yeah.
You see nuts for sale. You're like, all right, these people take their shit seriously. I like it.
I don't want the movie experience to grow. Like I went to a movie theater in Toronto one time, and they had a wait staff.
Yeah.
And they were serving alcohol, and that's cool. You sit there and go, that's cool, but that's movement.
It is.
I don't like that much.
And it's not forward progress. Yeah. It's just movement. It doesn't add to the movie experience, I don't think. Yeah, I don't need to get drunk to watch a movie.
You know, you look at you go online and the movie says it starts at 1:40. You know, you do 20,000 things. You wash your pussy. You got to take that shit. Everything that could go wrong could go wrong. The cat pukes on the way out. You get there at 1:40, and then you basically do sit there for a half a fucking hour, watching these reviews, over and over these things, and the movie you don't even know what the fuck is going on. Like it's 6 trailers or something they show.
I hate it. You can watch. I think like 3 or 4 trailers max.
3 trailers, to excite me.
Yeah,
that's it.
I also don't like different genre trailers. Like if you're in a comedy and they just show you like horror trailers, and you're like, that's not. I'm not a horror guy, man. It's just not my genre. But I also don't like. I mean, as you said, taking a shit in a movie theater. I'm very lactose intolerant. I beat it. I feel like I beat the disorder. I don't really have it as much anymore, but I had it bad. I was so mad I had it as a kid that I would eat like cheeseburger, mozzarella sticks, milkshake. I'm like everything to like. And every once in a while, I would be in like horrible pain. I was in one of those Times Square movie theaters, just horrible stomach ache, just liquid coming out of me, the worst. And I just hear a dad and son outside the stall laughing at me. And I hear the dad go, "That boy's got the shits."
That's fucking nuts.
It made me, it was like one of those moments where you're in so much pain. You're like, all right, but that was pretty good. That was a pretty good line.
You go to college?
I did. I went to Tulane for a year and a half in New Orleans. And then, it was right when Katrina hit, so I ended up leaving. But I ended up finishing in New York City at NYU.
And what do you think? What'd you major in?
I majored in a made-up major that was like a writing major, but I kind of made it. So I was already doing stand-up, so I kind of made it. I was doing like barking at nights and handing out flyers at nights and doing stage at night. So I kind of manipulated it to be about comedy. But
while you were at NYU.
Yeah, but it ended up, I had to make it academic. So it was ancient Greek comedy. So it was like 400 BC. But I'll tell you, man, those old plays, dick joke, fart joke, fucking sex joke, like every joke, like it's this comedy has not changed, which is kind of cool. There's that famous Greek play, Lysistrata, where you just can't, you're going to, the men are at war and the women won't fuck the men until the war is over. That's how they stand. And you're like, that's from 400 BC. That's kind of cool, I think. I don't know. So I'd have to make it academic to please them. But I knew I loved comedy. I love doing stand-up so much. So I was like, I may as well, while I'm here, do this stuff,
How old were you the first time you got on stage? 19, you said?
I was 18 the first time, but it was like probably like 2 months before I turned 19. I was I did the class at the comic strip in New York City. D.F. Sweedler taught a class there. And one of my best friends still, Joe Mackey, just happened to be in the class. So usually it's like those people are just like bored, but like we both really love stand-up and I could sense he loved it. And it was good for me because DF was like, I was so dirty in the class. I was a kid, so every joke was like drinking, sex, and he said, just try to write a few clean jokes too, because it's harder to go from dirty to clean than clean to dirty. So just have that tool. He asked who I liked, and I said I love Dave Attell, and I gave him all these comics I liked. And he said, well, Attell can write clean. Attell has done late night sets, so he's actually a lot of those early teachers are like, we'll get you on Letterman in 6 weeks, trust me. But he didn't make any promises. He was like, I'll just make you a little more organized.
What year was this?
2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
I took a a class at New York Comedy Club.
No shit.
1993.
Who taught it?
I forget the guy's name, but I just been bumped into him maybe 3 years ago in Burbank.
Wow.
Didn't even know it was him. We were talking, and I go, "You remember teaching a class?" He goes, "Absolutely." And his main thing was stand-up, how your world collides with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I remember him asking me one day, like, who, next week, bring in who your favorite comic is. And some assholes brought in Gallagher. Tons of jerk-offs brought in Cosby, as usual. And when I laid Bill Hicks on him, he was like, "I'm going to pay attention to you.
Yeah.
You're really into this shit." And I forgot but that was, if I got anything, I forget what it was. $100 for 8 weeks or something like that. I took one in Boulder, which got me on stage.
In Boulder?
In Boulder. That's where I got on stage the first time, was Boulder.
Yeah.
It was Denver Comedy Works.
Oh, shit.
1991.
Okay. Wow.
I went to New York to develop in 93. It was too heavy for me, man. It was too heavy of a fucking jungle, and I didn't see myself going anywhere after 8 months of that. It was too cliquey.
It is. The open mics in New York when I started were so cliquey.
Really cliquey at that time.
Yeah.
Tons of them. Can't complain. People at them.
But it's hard to get noticed in any way.
Yeah.
I was just trying to do the open mic. So if some guy would say, "Do my bar show," I was trying to get real shows. And those mics, man, especially because my jokes were so, like, the punchline was so obvious. I was doing a lot of one-liners that if they would bomb, I would feel those bombs hard. And I didn't even mind bombing, but the amount of mentally ill people you'd have to encounter at these mics, man, where I'd be like, fuck.
Just talking about it, the basement level is, I used to go to a place on 15th and 8th Avenue. It used to be Goodfellas Pizza.
Yeah.
Right down the corner from Manhattan Honda. Manhattan Honda was like 23rd Street.
Yeah.
This bar, you made like a right on 15th Street. You walk like 30 yards. They had an open mic. I don't know what night it was. Their open mic started at 10. It was just a dive. And I remember being in there with a pimp.
Yeah.
In there with 3 hoes. and him working the hoes. Yo, player, come here. You want to get your dick sucked? And you're on stage. And you're on fucking stage, you know.
And you're like, no. And then afterwards, like, yeah, come here.
No, he's not even talking to you. He doesn't care. Like, I still specifically remember just feeling like,
yeah,
I'm not going to say suicidal in New York. I wasn't suicidal. I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. I had started in Denver. And the difference between Denver and New York at that time was, A, you have to bring 5 people. And a lot of comics had their own rooms. So comics went into bars and asked for a $300 or $200 budget. And everybody got $50. And, 4 people got to go on stage.
Yeah.
I didn't see that till I went to New York and saw how hard I was working to get on stage, I remember going to an open mic that used to start at 11. Your old Triple N, 11 o'clock, went till 4. You know how many times I was there at 11:15 and I was already number 67?
Yeah.
Like, you're serious. Like, it's 10:30. The lineup opens up at 10:30, and I'm already 67.
It's brutal. I mean, dude, yeah, so Joe Mackey and I used to do what was called late night at the comic strip. So there's the regular show starts at 8, and then at like 10:30 or so, maybe 10:45, they start late night. And then, so that's like already, it's already 2 hours, 45 minutes, the crowd sitting through the show. So they let you go on and do 5 minutes instead of 15. And Mackie and I would get there at like 7:40 to be the first to sign up. And then it didn't matter if we were the first. They had this other side of late night that got to just cut us. So these were like guys that didn't work the club, but have been around for like 20 years. So they're guys who just didn't work on their acts. They were just guys, some of them would just go up and do street jokes, and they'd show up at like 10:30, and we'd be there 3 hours. They'd just get to cut us. So then we'd go on sometimes like 11:45. There's like 3 people left, 4 people, but to us, it was like, well, we're hanging and we're bouncing bits and we're like talking comedy. So that was good for us. And then even just saying the jokes to 3 people, I felt like it was something. Some nights the crowd was good, but It made us. I remember Mike DiStefano. It was a really funny guy
That's
who worked
funny
there.
you mentioned him. He passed away.
Yeah, a very funny guy.
Very funny guy.
And very like kind of. There was like an honesty to him on stage. He was a really kind guy. He was really funny. There was. Yeah, he just was great. I remember he saw Mackie and I one night and he said, I like you two because you stay in the corner, you shut the fuck up, and you just bounce jokes. He's like, and that's what young comics should do. He's like, you don't bother anybody. He's like, you don't bother the pros. And we're like, all right, I guess us being in the corner is good, you know? It's just got to keep showing up. And that was like, I think his way of encouraging us. And other comics would say, they'd give us like a hint that we were doing the right thing a little bit. And I thought the comic strip was pretty good for developing jokes.
It's crazy that you did that at the comic strip. And when I moved here in 97, Josh Wolf and I talked to Aaron Bontempo into letting us do a show at 11 at the Improv. She's like, I don't know if people are going to come. But, you know, I don't know how many times the host would say, guys, we have another show if you want to stick around. And, again, 6 people would hang.
Yeah.
You know, and it was Josh, me, and then fucking the word got out, you know, and then it would go to 8 people, then 10, then 12, and we're doing okay with it. And then Damon Wayne started bumping us. He would come in at 10:30 and just stay up there till fucking 1.
Damn.
On Wednesday nights.
Brutal.
It breaks your fucking heart.
It does.
As a young comic, you know, and I had nothing to complain about. I was getting spots at the store, but it was nice that you're at least in the Improv Farm League.
Exactly.
You know, now you could do it. Now they have like the room next to it, the lab, and you know, at this time it was just the Improv. That's it on Hollywood. And once the show ended, it wasn't like the Comedy Store runs till 2. The Improv would end like at 11 then.
Yeah.
But even like there was a guy, Rick Dukerman, who was in Groundhog Day, really funny guy. He told me when he got into comedy in L.A. that the Improv told him if you want to pay somebody to go back there and put the lights on, because we have to cut our guy at 10:30.
Damn.
If you pay somebody by the hour, we'll let you do whatever you want. And he said, fuck it. It was worth for me to pay somebody by the hour. I would get a couple comics to chip in. We made flyers. And he goes, at least we perform to real people instead of an open mic, you know.
That meant everything to me. Is that the mics just, as you said, they're so clicky. I'd be working on bits, and there would be comics going up there doing inside jokes with other comics in the crowd. And I said, man, I'm trying to build an act. I'm trying to like figure out jokes.
No, it's very tough, and you figure out your path. It's like water. Water always finds a path.
Right.
The more we get on stage, we find the path.
Yeah.
Like you find the path out of that lunacy. There's that bottom ground lunacy where some of them are homeless, some of them is mental health, you know, Joaquin Phoenix, you know, and then you graduate to bigger and better things. But that, as time goes on, and also when you decide you're not going back there. You know what I'm saying? It also depends on when the comic says, I'm not doing this shit no more.
Yeah, it feels good to not. They can sense the desperation, and they know who's going to come back, and they just knew what they could. I mean, the comic strip was our first club, so they kind of never gave us respect as stand-ups because they just always saw us as just nothing.
How's the comic strip today?
I think Jerry Seinfeld and Adam Sandler doing specials in there kind of gave it a second win, but they make a lot of mistakes. You know, it's a great room. The room is beautiful. It's just like. There's something about it as a comedy room that's like kind of perfect, but I mean, they really they could be booking a lot of really good comics that they don't book, and I think it's kind of always been that way, and I think that's always been the thing on the comic strip. The
comics, they don't book them, or the comics don't call to be booked?
I think both. I think I'm sure the first part feeds the second part. You know, I think they just know that. They don't like. I've given them names of people. I said you should book this person. They're really good, and they're gonna kill your room. And they're always like, we'll take it. They'll give them like one spot, and then never again.
And what about stand up New York? What's that like now?
It's fallen off a little bit too. There's bad ownership. They just kind of once they start panicking, they just do too many produced shows, and you kind of lose a good rotation of comics that there should be there. So I'd say in the city, the best clubs. Your Comedy Cellar, Gotham. The Stand is good. New York Comedy Club has 2 locations that are new ownership, really good. So those are the good rooms.
Those are your favorites, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And the comic strip, Dangerfields, all those.
Dangerfields is pretty rough. They actually shot the scene for the Joker
Right,
in Dangerfields, you know. And I think the thing was, it's a rundown club. I heard a story about Dangerfields. At one time, Chris Rock walked in there, and they said, "Whoa, $20." And he said, "I'm Chris Rock." And the ticket guy just looked at the bartender, and he goes, "All right, let him in." Like, not like, "Sorry, you're Chris Rock. We might want you to go on stage." Like, "All right, fine." Which is like, that's just tells you everything, you know?
When I went back this last summer, I did spots at Dangerfields. And it was like 8 people in that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of the Comedy Store. It had the Comedy Store feel.
Yeah.
You know? I have to go to New York in a few weeks, and I'm going to have a few nights. I don't know what I'm going to do with my nights. I know that I have like 2 nights. I have nothing. I could probably book a night, but I'm shooting, so I don't really want to get too
I heard.
involved.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm getting too involved in this.
Yeah.
I hate when you think you're not going to do something. I got to call Levity Live and go, I'm shooting, you know.
Right.
So I just keep it light and go back and see where the schedule takes me in.
Well, I'm sure any of those clubs would be very happy to have you.
Yeah, no, I like all those clubs. I enjoy all those motherfucking clubs. So
Yeah.
I never go down to the Comedy Cellar. I think it's too political for me.
Oh, really?
The type of guy that I am. Yeah.
In what way?
I can't sit at the table.
You could.
Shit like that.
You absolutely could.
I don't want to go through that.
Yeah, but everyone would be happy to
Because
see
you got to
it.
remember, I'm a New Yorker. I'm the last of the real New Yorkers. I'll hit you in the head with a fucking table. So before anything happens, why even go there? I'm not some guy that moved here from fucking Indianapolis. I'm the last of the real motherfuckers from the West Side.
Yeah.
Like my summer camp was 148th Street between Broadway and Riverside Drive down there. That's why I saw my first body under.
It's not, but you know, it's not,
right.
Joey. It's not going to get to it. This is in your head.
Really?
No one's like, who the fuck is this guy? Everyone's like, oh, hey man, what's up? It's not.
It's
It's
just,
not like that.
I've had bad.
I get what you mean. I feel
Yeah.
the same way at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, you have.
I'm
like,
not.
you walk in and somebody's gonna go, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah, I did a
It's New
show in
York.
it. I did my show, my hour in the Comedy Store on Friday, and of course the guy stops me at the door like, whoa, and I'm like, God damn it, all right here. You
Yeah,
know,
it's kind of weird that because it's New York. It's how I conduct myself on the streets of Los Angeles will be completely different than how I conduct myself on the streets of New York. It's really weird. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
know how you have to conduct yourself in New York. If not, you're gonna fucking get caught.
If you have to beat someone up, take it out of my friend Joe Mackey. 'Cause he can take it.
No.
I'm fucking around.
I just know that listen,
Yeah.
man, comics say weird shit sometimes. We all
No one's
know
going to
that.
say anything to you, though. That's all in your head. You're assuming the worst. No one's going to say anything.
Sometimes listen, dog. I've heard shit even here.
Yeah.
I hear shit here, so that's why I go to the Comedy Store. I keep them at arm's distance. Also, it's my home,
Yeah.
but it's not like I can go down there 7 nights a week
Sure.
because the younger comics like, what the fuck, bro? You're an old man. Go home and fucking go make a sweater. You know what I'm saying? You're here taking our spots.
Right.
We're gonna be on Conan next week. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The only Conan you were on was BC, you know, so shit like that. So in my mind, yeah, you're probably right, but I just like to perform with no drama.
I'm the same way, man.
Yeah,
I like writing jokes and telling jokes. I don't want to deal
That's
with
it.
it. The
Everything
hang stresses me out here, and also, dude, the fact that the shows are so spaced out. I'm like, shit. I did 2 spots like 5.5 hours here. You know, it's a lot.
Last week.
No, it's like it takes forever because like some of the shows, the store usually, but some shows don't give you a spot time, so you're just hanging out, and you're
But
like,
that's cool that you at least get love at the store.
yeah,
That's real cool.
I'm not
man.
past the store, but I'll get like Sam Tripoli's been awesome. He'll throw me up, and you know, certain
You doing Tuesday with Triple?
Yeah.
Late or early?
I did the last one.
Oh, the last
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did the late. He's had me on a few times. He's great, and I did one last night in the main room, Brian Monarch's show.
Okay.
Hot show. I mean, yeah, it's such a great. It's a great room, man. The store is awesome, but I don't feel comfortable there. It's not, you know, I'm a New York guy, I'm a cellar guy, so.
Now, when you first got into comedy, you were at NYU. What are your parents saying to you?
My parents are pretty supportive. At the time, I think my parents were pretty concerned it was an excuse for me to just get shit-faced all the time, which they probably weren't far off. You know, when you're young, you're like, free alcohol. This is cool. But you know, my mom is an artist. She's very creative. My dad is a lawyer. So I think he's more practical. My mom was a little bit more like, as long as you're not getting fucked up, we support this. And I was getting fucked up, so they weren't supporting that. And then they started, you know what, the night they kind of, I think, got it is I opened for Jim Jeffries in the Best Buy Theater in Times Square, and it must have been like 2,000 people a show or so, and it went well, and they were like, wow, this guy, Jim Jeffries, is so good, and he asked Sam to open. So I think they were kind of like, maybe this isn't bullshit, you know, maybe this is, because they'd seen me in clubs and stuff, but they hadn't seen that. So
how long did it take you to get started, to go from open mic to fucking...
You know, we were talking about competitions, and I hated the comedy competitions so much, dude. Some of them were, but that's what made me work. That's what got me paid on stage. Is my jokes were very short. They're short now. They're even shorter then. So I would do comedy competitions, and they did one called March Madness, which is like bracket style. It starts like 1 minute versus 1 minute, then it's like 3 minutes versus 3 minutes and 5. So you're going one-on-one with a comic as they're sitting there. I would open by going, this is like 8 Mile for Jews. That was my opener. And then I would have to like just go into material. You know, it was like, fuck, this is intense. And you just sit there while the other person's killing. I hated it. It was my least favorite thing, but I also was like, this is also getting me work. So what really put me over the top was this festival called the Laughing Skull in Atlanta. In like 2010 or 11, I did it, and I won the festival, and the prize was, you got some money, but the prize I was excited about was guaranteed. It was like 6 months to a year of road work. So that got me just on the road. And that was all I wanted. It's like, I want to be a road comic. So
it's crazy how the contest, I did Seattle.
Yeah.
And it was fucking great in 95.
That's a long one. Isn't that like 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a long
brutal.
One. And you're starving, you know, but it's that camaraderie. It's that thing that lets you know that it just really opened up my eyes. I'm really thankful for that one. San Francisco, I quit on Saturday. I did the San Francisco one when I moved up here.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested I should do San Francisco. And at that time, in 97, it was a scam.
Yeah.
It was just, by that time, it was just a scam. Comics were fucking judging.
Yeah.
It's like me going up, Sam, what up? None. Great time at your mother's party the other night. Really? How's Lee gonna fucking win?
That happened to me.
How's Lee gonna win if I know Sam personally? Sam,
isn't that fucked up?
It destroyed my insides. Like, I worked hard at the store. I got the limits, the set limits. You know, at 6 minutes, you got to wrap it up. At 7, you got to get off stage. If you go over 7, they deduct a point.
I don't think I ever want to judge a comedy competition ever.
No.
I think it's awful. And you know what? When I first passed the comic strip, they made me do 5 minutes. And I remember, so they just didn't want to pass me. They would like, and I give them some respect for this. They really were still into hazing, which I think, you know what, is not, a little hazing never makes you a worse stand-up. But it did hurt at the time because
What kind of hazing? What do you mean?
Just like they would fuck with me a little bit. Nothing like cruel. Just like they kind of fuck with me. We're like, an example is they said, you know, I was doing really well. He saw me do really well on late night once, and he goes, all right, maybe you're ready for an audition. And I said, I'm ready to work the lineup. I felt that Joe Mackey and I were ready to work the lineup for a while. And he said, all right, we'll put you on. They put me on at the end of the late. So they do a late night audition, but it's at the end of late night. So it's like, the first time I audition, it starts with 80 people in the crowd, maybe, you know? And some guy before me had a fucking meltdown on stage. He walked everyone but 12 people. And I'm waiting all night. I'm waiting 3 hours. I watched this guy just have a fucking meltdown. I was just like begging him, like, please don't walk that last 12. I need this, you know? So I went up and it went well for those 12 people. I was very calm. I kind of riffed on what just happened, obviously. And I said, you know, I need this. So thanks for staying. Then did the act. So I got another shot. And then he put me on. It was a full crowd this time, and 3 comics were the judges. And I killed. It went real well. Sherrod Small was hosting it, and Sherrod was like, this dude deserves to work here. He said that before, and he said they're making him go through he's having an audition. Like, there's like a second time auditioning for the main lineup after he's already been doing the late night for a few years. So I think he should be here. And second time in like a month. And then I went real well. Keith Robinson's one of the judges. I love Keith. And he was real nice. Greer Barnes, who I love, was real nice. And then another comic, I won't even say his name because, well, I do it. But he said, I think you're kind of hacky. And I don't respect this guy's act. So to me, I didn't then either. And I said, well, you know, what are you going to do? That's your opinion, you know? And then the guy who booked the club said, yeah, I've seen that 5 minutes before. And I said, well, it's an audition, man. So Marina Franklin, who was already cool to me then too, who's a great comic. She came in the room and she was a little drunk and she said, fuck you to the booker in front of the whole crowd. The crowd's booing him. And they were recording this. I'm sure there's footage of it somewhere, which is fucking humiliating. And she just said, you know, fuck you. Like, it's an audition. He should be allowed to do whatever 5 minutes he wants, you know? So then he said, all right, how about you come back and do it again next week? So this is the third time now. So I said, all right, fuck you. I said, new 5. And he said, all right. So the whole thing goes down again. It couldn't have gone better again. And, you know, thank God, you know, finally he's like, all right, fine, you can work here. And then, but it's not like I got spots. I was passed, but it's not like you're working. So
me, I got a different outtake on this whole thing. I love, my background was being a criminal. Right? And, you know, I had fun growing up and the whole thing. And people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah.
I'll deal with anything. You want to call me a spick, whatever you want to do.
I don't.
No, not even like that. But
no, I know.
One thing that really always agitated me till this day when I hear about it, like there's certain people I won't work for because I know they're shitty to young comics.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, you know, you and me were cool, but when a comic is young, I don't like when people treat young comics shitty because I got treated so shitty.
Yeah.
My first 3 years in the business, except for my house MC job. Outside of that, like I was always that guy that was told to be there at 8:30, but when I got there, I found that I had to follow the headliner, and the headliner was going to blow his asshole on fire. You know, I was always that guy that sat there for 3 hours. I'm not holding a pity party. I'm not holding a pity party. But
no,
I know
definitely
what it
not.
felt like.
Yeah.
I know what it felt like going to sign up at 10:30, reading Judy Carter's book.
I read Judy Carter's book.
You know, doing the fucking exercises to the
Oh,
T.
man.
Staying up till 4, you know.
Yeah.
Really watching stand-up, studying it on. In those days, I didn't have the internet, guys. I had to go to Blockbuster.
But you knew Hicks, and that's
Bill Hicks.
But the fact that you say, I think Hicks is kind of. I know some people think he's overrated. I think he's still kind of underrated because he put out 5 fucking great hours, and he died at 33. It's insane.
It's insane. It's insane how good he was.
And his shit holds up hard. Like
shit is bad. And there was some stuff that was very out there.
Yeah.
For some people, it's even out there for me. But the more I did comedy, the more I understood it.
Yeah.
What he was doing and why he was doing it. And
he was like an alt comic with club chops, you know? The only time I didn't love him was when he got like a little self-righteous, but like when he was just telling hard jokes, I'm like, fuck, this guy's incredible.
His Rodney special is still one of my favorite
unreal
pieces of work in comedy of all time.
It's like a perfect late night set.
It's and he had to follow Dice.
That lineup, dude. Robert Schimmel.
Yeah, they lit the room on fire.
Dom Herrera. Every comic was so funny.
Blueprint of comedy. When I got into comedy, I rented that so much that the people at the video place said, "Don't even worry about it no more. just. You're the only one who rents this." There was 2 of them. There was that one with him, and there was the other one with Roseanne and Kinnison.
I remember Schimmel's opener. It's like one of the funniest openers I've ever heard in my life on that set. I still remember where he goes, "I read that a guy got arrested for animal necrophilia. What do you say to the judge? I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought the cat was alive while I was fucking it." That's a great joke.
He had that bit he had on there was tremendous.
Schimmel was so funny.
He had something on there about his mother using a vibrator.
Yes.
And for years he thought it was his parents making margaritas in the bedroom or some shit. All those things were my blueprints of comedy. And it's so weird that till this day, there's people I talk to. I go out of my way to talk to because those first 3 or 4 years of comedy, they were gentlemen to me.
Yeah.
But there's still people who I see on Facebook that were dicks to me that now I want to like throw a fucking dart at them because they fuck with your dream.
Right.
Listen, if you sell coke and I hit you in the head and take you around, you deserve everything that you got. You're dealing in poison. What do you think's going to happen? But in this thing, we're dealing in dreams.
Yeah.
We're dealing in something that not, you know, there's a big difference. Again, I'm not taking away from nothing from nobody. There's a big difference than me being an electrician and me being a comic. There's still similarities.
Yeah.
You still have the apprenticeship, whatever. And I guarantee you, when you're an apprentice electrician, they break your balls. They make you go up to the roof to pick up that wiring. They all laugh at you. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
I get it. But there was some people, to me, in comedy that was just over the top.
Yeah.
I want to make you feel like shit.
Well, dude, think about how many comics there are. Like, shit, if this were easy, think about how many more comics there would be. You know, like, I guess they have to whittle the pack somehow.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, those nights I'll always remember. Like there were a lot of nights like that, obviously, for any comic when you start out. So yeah, I remember those, and yeah, it was the strip kind of formed me for the type of comic I am a lot, because you know you had to kill quickly, and you had to, as you remember, wait around. So
how many nights you go down the strip now when you're home?
Not much.
Oh, you don't go down the strip?
No, I'm more of a cellar guy now.
How many nights a week is Essie?
SD, yeah.
Esty.
I'll do.
How many nights does she give you?
If I'm in town, usually every night. She's been. I mean, it's been a while there. You know, I've been there for a while now, so she's been always really good.
And that's your to-go place.
Yeah,
and then
because
you also hit the Stand.
I don't work there a ton, but I like the club. I'm usually at the Cellar or New York Comedy Club are the two ones I go the most, I think. But I think the Stand's a great club.
I don't know what New York Comedy Club I did, but it was great.
Yeah, there's
Fifth
two.
Street?
There's one on 4th, and there's one on 24th.
The one on 4th.
It's great.
That was
you
good.
You should pop in. You should pop into all of them when you're in town.
That was good.
It's good.
That was downstairs.
Yeah.
Down a little stoop downstairs, and like a little bar up front.
Yeah.
That was dynamite.
It's amazing.
That was dynamite. And I heard she's got another place.
Yeah.
Because she's, right?
Well, Amy books it, and Emilio runs it, and it's great, man. Yeah.
So she's got a room where you have to do 50 minutes.
What, 50?
Right. Ari does it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Different room? Well, 24th Street. How big is 24th Street?
150 maybe. They're both not huge. They're just, they're just good rooms.
Yeah, I remember that. You know who I met at New York Comedy Club in 93?
Who?
Mike, whatever.
DiStefano?
No, the kid who does the podcast with Artie Lang.
Oh, Mike Bichetti.
Mike Bichetti.
Such a nice guy.
Used to have a joke. I'm from Staten Island. I work at a bakery. I'm in charge of the tarts. That me and my friends fucking lost it. When he said that, right, we fucking lost it.
He's the best.
That's how far back I go with Mike Bichetti.
Yeah.
And that club, believe it or not, they were good to me. Lucius said some horrible things to me.
From the comic strip?
Yeah, before he died. Fuck him, rotten hell. The guy at 73rd Street, comedy, we just talked about it, right on the west side there.
Oh, Stand Up New York.
Stand Up New York, that guy was a prick.
Yeah.
The guy who used to own it was going around town telling people had a multi-million-dollar developmental deal, him and his wife, and they were going to give comics deals, and it was just a fucking nightmare.
Oh, man.
I remember one night I got into it with him because I went down there with Joe Rogan. And out of nowhere, this guy came up to Joe and he goes, "You want to go on next or tonight?" And Joe goes, "Yeah." And he goes, looked right at me and he goes, "You don't even ask." And I didn't even know him.
Wow.
And I go, "Did I ask you, you stupid motherfucker?"
Damn.
And I remember him looking at Joe and Joe looking at me and Joe going, "Joey Buchanan, no, fuck this bitch." And I remember still Jeff Sussman walking me outside. Like, that's how weird it was, like, for me for a while. So I was like, you know what? I won't fuck with a lot of these people because I'll just strangle. You know,
A lot
New
of the
York,
clubs
you
you
gotta
get
be different.
A lot of the clubs you walk in, you work on the way up, are the ones you kind of never go back to, and it's not because you don't like have loyalty. It's like a lot of those clubs just don't do it well. They don't treat you well, and they don't treat anyone well. So you're kind of like, I mean, I used to work this club, Broadway Comedy Club, all the time, and I'd work the door there and stuff, and like me working the door with this frame, who the fuck am I going to throw out? Come on, So it's like shit would go down, and I remember comics would be like, "This is the fucking security," and I'd be like, "Yeah, sorry, this is who they have, me." So I'd have to deal with people, and it's like, I'm not dealing with any. I remember I got someone spat on me on stage there once because I'd work the doors to let me go on stage, and I just I became close with the wait staff because they were just all really cool and nice, and I think they felt like, all right, he's one of us because he's working the door and stuff. So I remember being on stage once, just going at it with a guy, and he just goes, I kind of put him down, but he gets up, and I hear his girlfriend go, not again, and I'm like, what not again? And I just hear him go, and I'm like, fuck, spits right in my chest, and I was like, they kind of blocked him from getting any closer to me, but I was like, yeah, how do I turn this set around? I think this one's done, So he kind of waits out. He's like, I'm gonna wait outside for you. I'm like, fuck, all right.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It's fun, but you know what? Those shows now are pretty funny to look back on, because you feel like there's never a moment where you're more humiliated than bombing with someone else's spit on your chest. It's just like, fuck it. That's got to be one of the rock bottom moments, But it's also kind of. It's also kind of great in a weird way, because I remember that night this comic, Chris Murphy, was like, I'm going to walk you out because I want to make sure that if he jumps you, I'm there with you. And I was like, that's a fucking good guy. So you kind of make these weird bonds in those moments too, right?
Wow. You just remind me of a lot of shit.
I also had a lot of great things happen, but the bad stuff's more interesting to reminisce on, I mean, goddamn, the Cellar's been amazing to me. Gary Goldman recommended me at the club in 2011, and it was like, changed my life. Gary Goldman's such a fucking great dude, and I featured for him once on the road, and I got off stage, and he goes, "You're going to be the first guy to wreck at the Comedy Cellar. I've never wrecked a guy. You're going to be the first." I didn't even know him. It meant so much to me. So people have been so kind in those moments too. So, the bad stuff's interesting, but the good stuff is fucking.
The good stuff is tremendous.
The good stuff, and the
good stuff is really good.
So I'm grateful, and the Cellar's been fucking amazing to me. So
when you have a job, if you go to work for me at my freight company,
yeah,
every 18 months by union rules, I have to give you a 1.8% raise. And you feel kind of good about it. Every 18 months you get a raise. Big fucking deal, With comedy, it's not a raise. It's like a moral victory.
Yes.
You get moral victories. It's not money. It's not even about money. If you're looking for money, you're barking down the wrong tree. It's moral victories, The most I'll fuck with a comic is, Sam, come here. How many minutes you got? Man, I can do 14. And that's if I talk about the Knicks. All right. Go up there and do 12. And then I won't put the light on.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I could do for a comic.
Yeah.
It's a torture chamber. But finally, at an hour, you're going to go, I thought it was 12 minutes, but you're going to learn the lesson of your life.
Yeah.
I think me telling you, Sam, give me a ride to this gig and I'll give you $25, and you're an open micer and there's 2,000 people there, and all of a sudden I go, Sam, go do for 8 minutes, and you're like, I thought I was just driving you. That's my dream breaker to people.
Yeah,
I love doing that to people, putting them in bad positions as a comic. That's
because they have to survive. Yeah,
that's how you become a comic. You don't become a comic by you become a comic by getting put into bad positions. Psst, come here. How much time you got? And you're like, 21. And that's if I talk about New York City. And the headline is running night. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it funny when people give you an exact, like I knew a guy, Gary Veters.
I would tell you the truth.
He'd say 19.
You the truth. I always told you the truth.
Yeah.
I didn't want no problems.
Yeah.
I was raised by, if you're going for a job and the guy says to you, do you know what computer technology is? No, I don't, but I'm willing to learn.
Yeah.
That means more than the guy that comes in and says, yeah, I know everything about computers. Well, guess what? Now I have to retrain you, and that might be hard because you already established bad habits.
Yeah.
So you follow what I'm saying? With me, I'd rather get you and
You form them when they're young.
Form them, boom, boom, boom. That's the torture I inflict on a comic. That would be the torture. Like, Lee, do 8.
Yeah.
And just walk out of the room.
Yeah.
And go back in at 29.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what the fuck hit him. But he might pull shit out of his ass.
Yeah.
That he's going to leave there and not sleep that night. Because that's what usually happens on those.
And that makes you right. When you're like, fuck, I need to have more time. Fear is a good motivator, man. It really is. When you're
out of your jokes, listen, I want you to be out of your jokes, out of everything that you've ever written in a notebook, and you're starting to use Cosby's first album. That's when I come and give you the light. All right? At least you...
Well, he's not using the jokes anymore.
Yeah, he ain't using them, so you might as well go to Cosby now. And I'll give you 2 lights. I'll never tell nobody you stole a Cosby joke. I put you in a bad position. But it's a bad, it's that's how you get good at comedy.
Yeah, man. But then so much good stuff happens. I mean, you think about this stuff, and everyone has those, every comic has those stories, and that's what's cool. It's like, I remember like seeing guys I used to like hand out the flyers in the street with, and you're like, oh, that's like a dude I care about, like it's almost like we had some weird, like it was really cold, it was New York City, I was drinking out of a flask to stay warm, and then we were splitting a flask and handing out flyers and shit. I mean it definitely is pretty cool. And you ever do that where you hand out the flyers to people at the show and then they come in the show? You're like, it's a hot show tonight. We got all this person. And then they walk in and they're like 2 or 4 people in there. And then I'm the next comic on stage. And I'm like, you motherfucker, you lied to me.
See, when I got to New York in 93, there weren't Barkers.
Yeah.
We would have to sell tickets.
Oh, yeah. Same
So they
same
would give
thing.
you, no. They would give you a book of tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to leave. They would give them to you for $3 and you sold them for 10. And you had to give the club the 3.
Wow.
And I was into it.
I did it one summer.
I was really into it. Yeah, and I made money doing it, too.
Yeah.
And then that one weekend, I sold like $800 worth, and I go, fuck Lucian. This money's mine. And I went back and they're like, where's the $30 shows? I don't know. I mailed it to you.
Isn't it amazing that you carry that shit against Lucian still? Because I feel the same way. Like, you never really get over it because it's still kind of like the injustice.
I'm not mad at Lucian.
But there is.
I say Lucian because he was there.
Yeah.
There's people I'm not mad at because I wasn't even ready to be in their presence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I can't be mad at them. There were people who said things that shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest,
because we can get better, too. That's what they forget. It's like, dude, I'm going to get better.
We're going to come back and eat your ass.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and eat you fucking up. And then you're going to sit there and beg us. There was a lady in Seattle. She didn't like me. I got into a beef one day.
Giggles?
No, her name was Laura Crocker. God rest her soul.
All these people are mysteriously dead, Joey.
She's dead. She died. She's dead. My father dead. I don't know what happened. It's like Tony Montana. She was Josh Wolf's manager.
Oh, okay.
For a while. She managed in Seattle and she booked rooms. And it was well known that I got into a beef with somebody and she took that person's side and pretty much banned from booking me.
Wow.
But I said, fuck it. I'm a good comic. I got a good 25 minutes. I'm not like anybody else in Seattle. There's no New Yorkers in Seattle. So I would call her every Monday to annoy her and go, Wednesday night, Sam Morril is headlining Chi-Chi's. Because she had like 8 rooms during the week.
Isn't that the worst when they have fucking a little bit of power?
Had really like good rooms. So I would call her up and say, listen, I wouldn't tell her that I was snorting coke with Sam Morril till 8 in the morning. I would just say, Sam said I could do 10 minutes in front of him. And she would go, fine. And then I would go down into 10 minutes. And the club, the guy who owned the bar, would come up to me and go, why don't you ever work here? And I would say, Laura doesn't like me personally. And that's the reason why.
Yeah.
But today, when I'm at the Comedy Store and I'm rocking and rolling, I think of Laura Crocker because her hatred towards me made me work harder to prove her wrong.
Yeah.
Even if she's dead today, she doesn't matter, God rest her soul, the whole thing. I still proved her wrong. She didn't like me over something that had nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with her. She just said, I don't like Joey Diaz, and this is the way it's going to be, and I had to live with it, and I had to accept it. But there were just people who were just fucking cruel fucks that I still want to light their houses on fire, but who gives a fuck at this point? They haven't moved forward at all in their life. They were so busy criticizing young comics and criticizing their tapes and making them feel bad that today they haven't moved forward.
Yeah, some of them are dicks, but they're dicks in like a funny way, in a way. So I look back and I'm kind of like, it's kind of funny, you know? Like, I mean, there was this club I played forever in Tampa, and I started featuring there, and it's a really good club. It's called Side Splitters.
People love it.
Yeah, great club. But I remember
What's the owner?
Bobby Jewell. Oh my God, when he booked me as a feature out of the gate as a young comic, so they took forever, of course, to headline me, but I remember he would just get fucking loaded, like hairpiece, pinky ring, pissed drunk, picking me up in his Mercedes, like just a character, you know. And
he still have the club?
No, he's out. He's out now. But man, he would get in my face and be like, "You fucking pussy. I leave pieces of shit like you in the dirt." And I'm like, "You can outdrink me at 58? Yeah, congratulations. You can fucking leave me in the dirt." He would fucking get loaded. He'd walk in the bar just fucking ripped. His own bar. Like, they would tell me, like, "Yeah, we're losing like 40 grand a year in liquor sales from Bobby." He'd just get fucking ripped. And he would walk in and just start he'd make a fucked up joke, and then someone would look at him, he'd be like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" In his own fucking club. To me, I was like, I mean, I guess I'm not the only one getting it, so it's kind of funny. But he'd be kind of a dick, but also it's like, I don't know, man. Like, when you see those dudes, you're like, well, there's none of you left, so let me just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, how many clubs am I going to go to?
No, there's none of those guys left anymore.
So it's you do kind of appreciate it. He would just get in my fucking face every time, like, "You fucking pussy."
I hear little whispers here and there of people. You know, there's certain clubs I don't like how they treat their feature acts.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to. Listen, you got to be good to the people on the way up, because you're going to see the same people on the way down.
Totally.
I'm not here to start wars with clubs.
No.
But I hear about a lot of clubs that don't. Listen, you hire a feature, put them in a Motel 6 for 3 nights.
Right.
You know, you're going to pay the feature $100 a set, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, slow.
That's 1958 money.
It's the same.
You know, I can see a 15-minute set locally or something.
Yeah.
But once you make somebody get up, leave their house, and get on a plane or a train or a fucking car,
it's like a fucking internship.
You should pay them a little extra. The feature MC money has not changed in fucking 20.
And then some headliners don't let the feature sell fucking merch. I'm like, dude, the guy's getting $500 for the weekend.
I
let
don't
him
sell merch to the feature and my headliner. Whoever I'm working with can sell merch.
Yeah, totally.
I don't want to sell merch. I don't ever want to sell merch. I don't want to look at people. I don't want to look at shirt sizes.
I don't want to get cornered by a drunk. That's the main. I used to sell shirts because I was a feature. When I
snorted blow and I was in need, I couldn't sell something. Can you imagine me now? Like, now I don't want to fucking sell anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm too embarrassed. I'm happy that you came to the show.
Yeah.
How's that for you?
Yeah.
I'm just ecstatic that you paid the $20 to come to the show.
Yeah.
Never mind another $32.50 in CD boxes and fucking forks and spoons and spaghetti sauce. You want to buy that shit? Buy it at home at your own time. But I ain't selling it to you. I'm not Foot Locker. Well, I got to put on my striped shirt on and go out there now and fucking, what size are you? Oh, you look like a medium. Well, I got mediums in the trunk. Hold on. Get the fuck out of here.
There's nothing worse than having to check an extra bag of just bullshit.
And then you leave the shirts at the club.
Yeah.
You count 48. And when you get them back home, there's 20. That means every waiter stole fucking 2 shirts.
I was selling shirts.
So the money I didn't make, I didn't fuck you.
I used to sell shirts to the feature because it's like $500. You got to, so that's, I totally get it. But I remember I was middling for Bert Kreischer like many years ago, and I opened my merch bag of T-shirts, and he put a gay porno in there.
Did he really?
Yeah, he peeked behind just so he could see me do it, and I turned around and he just started laughing. I was like, that's pretty funny.
I would, if I was a feature act in today's market, I'd sell coke after the fucking show if they let me.
Yeah.
Because it's just brutal.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to, and I get part of it. I used to fucking. I still remember featuring for $350 a week.
There's some clubs still pay that.
With a hotel.
Some clubs are $350 without a hotel now. How crazy?
$350 without a hotel.
Some probably, yeah, I'm sure.
I used to get there was a chain. I'm not going to say who they are. Nice people. They're nice people. They're still around. Helped a lot of comedy because it depends how you look at it.
Yeah,
it depends how you look at it. If you're looking at it, well, all those years they ripped me off. No, they didn't. They gave you an opportunity.
Yeah.
To become the comic you are today. How you treated that was up to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't get mad at those people.
You know what a lot of young comics do, though? I've seen, and I was one of them, is like, you're getting paid shit, but you can drink for free, so you get fucking ripped. You're like, fuck you,
yeah.
I'll make my money back with alcohol. Biggest mistake I made.
How are you now? You still drinking?
I'm way better. I chilled out significantly, because I had to, man. All the morning flights, all the press, all the travel, it's like, my back fucking hurts already. I don't want to feel like shit every day.
When did the special get released?
It came out February 10th.
So it's been out for a while.
It's been out for almost 2 weeks.
Good. How's it doing?
It's, last I checked, it's pushing 800,000 views on YouTube, and I'm pretty happy with it. I hope it keeps moving forward. And, I did this one this way just because, the last ones just didn't get views the way I hoped they would. And you put so much work into these specials, and then for them, it almost feels like sometimes you get a certain amount of money, and it's like a bribe, so they'll never be seen. And I need it's so fucked up. You're like, oh, well, you'll get paid, but it's gonna be buried on some fucking weird website, and no one's gonna see it. Like Comedy Central's last one, an ad every 3 minutes. Like, who can sit through that? I can't sit through that, So this one was like, the one rule was like, no ads. I need people to watch this. I'm proud of this. I worked hard on it. I shot this myself because no one wanted to make it. So let me make sure it at least gets seen.
And Comedy Central bought it from you.
They did for YouTube only. So for YouTube, they put it up. So I figured they have a big subscription base. They push it like it was an hour special and post about it and stuff. And I think that definitely helped. So I'm grateful that they helped and bought it, and they did it the way I wanted to do it.
What's going on with your Knicks?
My Knicks ended up playing badly. They traded my favorite player to the Clippers, Marcus Morris. I love Mook.
It's so crazy how I'm so out of the loop, and I'm ashamed.
You don't be, because it's been tough. This is the time to be at. Come back in a few years. I'll let you know when to come back.
It's so funny when I see Rappaport. I follow Rappaport on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he bitches about the Knicks constantly, and I don't know. I bitching about the Knicks to me is like bitching about the President of the United States. You're not supposed to bitch about the President of the United States. Only now do people get to open their mouths every fucking day. When I was growing up in New York City, you didn't bitch about the Knicks. You went home, you shut your fucking mouth, and you bet them again. And like you said, you prayed to God that they didn't put Phil Jackson in the fourth quarter. Because that's when I would just hang up the phone and rip up my little gambling ticket. And those days we had to go to like an office in Union City and bet like 3 of us would bet $25.
Yeah.
And I don't even, I still remember Glenn Gondrzak.
Yeah?
Do you remember Glenn Gondrzak? No. Glenn Gondrzak was a Knick. He was a white guy. He went to UNLV.
Yeah.
He was great at UNLV. He, see what years Glenn Gondrzak played. Just to...
What, it was like the 70s, 80s, or what?
Pro or college?
Huh?
Pro or college?
He played for the Knicks. What years he played for the Knicks? Glenn Gondrzak was a white dude that played for the Knicks. Great player, like just your basic white guy. What do you expect from a 6'4" white guy?
Stroke it.
Just pop 20s.
Yeah.
And get the ball across the fucking thing and give it to the power of the team. And Glenn played for years. He played at UNLV against one of my favorite players of all time, a guy named Michael Corrin. He played for North Carolina. He was from Jersey City. And they went on to be a Net for years and God knows what else. But what does it say there?
Did he grow up in Colorado?
Yeah, he grew up in Boulder, Colorado.
No shit. Everyone, all your cities, man.
Yeah, he grew up in Boulder. But then when I got to Boulder, then you get the bigger picture. The Gondrzeks were like a fucking family of death in Boulder. Everybody knew who they were.
Damn.
They had a younger brother. The younger brother was better than Glenn, but he ended up going to Phoenix with Walter Davis, and they uncovered like this big cocaine ring in Phoenix. Walter, Walter Davis was tremendous, a tremendous basketball player. Didn't play any D, always an all-star. Glenn Gondrzek's brother was down there, and they got caught up in a coke sting.
Jesus.
And that ended their career. But Gondrzek, when I played for the Knicks, was very
Only
good.
2 years, 77 and 79.
Yeah, what did he average? Like 8 points if I was lucky, but he was one of those white dudes that just was perfect for New York. He could own like Dollar Bill Bradley.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
perfect for New York.
Dollar Bill, man. I read about something how Dollar Bill Bradley, in a practice, I think Cassie Russell, who was, the sixth man in the Knicks, he got pulled over just like driving while being black in Michigan. And it was like a whole thing in practice. And, he just started shit with like, Dollar Bill, maybe some of the other white players on the team. And Willis Reed was like, you fucking hit him again. You're going to have to go through me. Like kind of his way of being like, he ain't the problem. You know what I mean? He's your guy. We're a team, Like Willis Reed just fucking led. He was just a leader, man. Such a badass.
Yeah, I wonder what happened because he had a good career.
Who?
Glenn.
Oh.
He averaged 14 points, 386 3-point percentage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good shoot. That was a weird time for the Knicks. So that was when they were kind of like rebuilding.
What years were they?
77 to 79.
And then in like 85, he retired.
And we got
83,
Ewing
yeah.
in 86.
83, he retired. Not from the Knicks, from somebody
To
else.
Denver.
And then he fucking tried to shoot himself with a 22, and he missed his heart. So the big joke in town was you can make a 20-footer, but you missed the fucking heart shot with a 22 fucking
Oh,
wrist.
my God. So he's alive?
Yeah, he's alive. He's a realtor or something. They all went to school together. Him, the big-time Victoria's Secret model, the one that married Harry Connick Jr., Jill Goodacre.
Oh, okay.
She owns half a Boulder because when everybody else was snorting coke, she was buying real estate. Her and her father would just, every time she showed her fucking little body in a bikini, boom, she bought another house, another park, another parking structure. And now Jill Goodacre's probably got tons more money than Harry Connick Jr.
Damn.
But yeah, Glenn Gondrzek was a Knick. Oh, I used to go to all those games. Michael Ray Richardson.
Yeah.
I remember.
He's dead.
Huh?
He passed away.
Who, Glenn? Mm-hmm. Yeah, when did he pass away?
2009.
Yeah, the Knicks in the 80s, man. I mean, they were kind of just, and then they got Ewing in 86, and they kind of started to get, and they had like fucking, I mean, this is like, I was born in 86, so I didn't, my first real team was Ewing, Oakley, Mason, Starks, Derek Harper.
Oh my
fucking
God.
Beautiful team.
That's a beautiful team.
Just as tough as nails. We never won, but like, I don't mind losing like that. We were just fucking, I mean, of course, as a kid, I was like, well, surely we'll win at some point. We're this close every year.
When was the last time they won?
72, 73.
That's
it. Walt Frazier calls the games. He's the last time, man. I met him a few times at games. I even interviewed him once. I used to have a sports show on MSG, the Knicks Network, and I interviewed him, and he was such a good dude. He was like the nicest guy and really did not expect me to know anything about him in detail because, of course, they edited it for every question to be like, so what's it like broadcasting? But I'm like, no, I'm asking all player questions. Like, the guy used to share a fucking room with Phil Jackson on the road. They'd share hotel rooms. They fucking brought the city together when it's like a mixed race team winning championships. It's kind of beautiful, man. And they really just kind of made it a boring interview when we had, I thought, a pretty amazing conversation.
Who's the most amazing Knick you ever met?
I mean, I fucking loved John Starks. I really did as a kid. He was every kid's favorite because he was unpredictable and he was a gunslinger. Starks was pretty cool, man. But, I shot a commercial with Oakley once and he was so fucking like intimidating. Oakley was like everything I loved about basketball. He's just like he'd fucking take a bullet for anyone on his team. I loved it.
I was more of Bernard King.
I met him. I interviewed him for my show. Great guy.
Great guy. I was a Bernard King type of guy. But I remember as a kid playing basketball, and going to the Knicks games and watching.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're really into basketball and you're into defenses and the science of it, when you watched Walt Frazier and Earl the Pearl,
Yeah.
there was something about those two. And they worked together. They knew how to steal the ball from you. They would trap you at different situations. You didn't know when you were going to trap. This is when you could hold shorts. Walt Frazier knew how to hold your short. Hand checking was allowed.
Yeah.
So they would put their hand on you, but one finger went inside your shorts. And you made sure that guy didn't pull away from you, because then the ref would see the elastic. It was a complete different art.
Damn.
That people will never understand. It was hand checking, the art of hand checking.
Yeah.
He wants to go right. You're going to make him go left with your hand.
Yeah.
You know, if you watch old Julius Erving footage, today, Julius Erving would have got called with 20 offensive fouls a game. Julius Erving's trick was a hook.
Yeah.
He would hook your waist, and he would get that first step on you and then push you off the hook, and your knee would kind of crumble. That's not allowed today. That was a different game. And Walt Frazier and Earl, they would keep you at that arm's distance, force you into the middle. They would force you to spin, and Earl would be there to fucking pick your pocket, or they'd vice versa. Walt would be there to pick your pocket.
The Rolls Royce backcourt,
and it
man.
was just something that, you know, it was an honor to grow up in New York in those days. Like, I consider my tenure in New York, like I tell people, I'm from North Bergen, New Jersey. But when you see me walk and talk, you see New York in there.
I felt it the second I walked in, man.
I went to the Macy's parades.
Yeah.
I've eaten a hot dog with ketchup on it and threw it away. You know, I fucking played 3-card Monte. I was with a friend of mine who got his neck stuck in a fucking perv show.
A rat runs up to you, you don't really flinch. You're like, all right, it's his city too.
Club.
Yeah.
Rats. I got beat up at Central Park by the river, the little water pond. Like, people have no idea how much I knew that city with my hand inside and out. And when I was fortunate enough to get a job there at 21 on 52nd and 7th, I would get let out into the city at 1 a.m. from Tuesday to Saturday at 1 a.m. You have no idea what that city was like in 1984 when I got let out at 1 o'clock. It was a constant part. And if the Knicks had won, oh, Jesus. You caught the tail end of the fucking parties. I mean, it was just a different
Bernard King partied, I heard. I mean, he drank.
He drank and snorted coke. They caught him in Jersey with cocaine all over his shirt. Then they traded him, Golden State, and he got it together. He became the comeback player of the year, and he went back to New York, and there was 1 week where he scored 62 times.
Yeah.
60, once against Bird, I think. Once against the Celtics, he went off.
He went off. And, yeah, man, he was a badass. And he was also fucking cool. Like, he was just nice, man. Like, he wrote a book about having, like, an addiction problem and, like, how shit he got. Hubie Brown was just a fucking asshole to him as a young player. It's like, I think about that. Like, that dude was abusive and, like, you know, he was a badass. If it weren't for injuries, like, there was no stopping him.
It was a different city back then, my friend.
Yeah.
It's still a great city. I got to go back in 2 weeks. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited.
It's going to be great.
Going home. It's just a week, but it'll work. But listen, anytime you want to stop it.
That means a lot,
What's
man.
the name of the special on YouTube?
It's called I Got This. And
I got this, bitches.
Yeah, that's what everyone says to you when you self-produce a special. They say, you got this, but they don't mean it. They're just,
mean dick.
They're just being nice. They're trying to be encouraging because they know that you might be making a dumb decision, but it seems to be working all right.
Where you living now in New York?
I'm Upper West Side right now.
Where at?
66th Street.
What do you think?
I love it, man. It's quiet. It's, you know, it's, I mean, it's great. It's just like, my only thing for this place, before that I was on 108th and I love that too. I just wanted to be a little closer. Anytime I could be a little closer to the Comedy Cellar, that's how I choose where I live. So, I like the area of 108th a little better. It was a little more like neighborhoody and I like the vibe a little better, but, I mean, I love it. I miss a 24-hour grocery place. I like to grocery shop at 3 a.m. That's my move. No one's in there. It's quiet. It's nice. Peaceful. You throw on some tunes. You walk around. You grab an avocado. You get some cookies. It's nice.
Well, listen, man, it's great to have you in studio.
It was great to be here. Thank you, man.
That you're doing your thing and you're on your way up.
Thank you, man.
I wish you nothing but fucking success.
You too, man. Keep killing it.
Hopefully the Knicks will turn it around. And
I think in a couple of years, I think you got to have a healthy level of delusion to be a sports fan. So I got a lot of it, man. I'm fucking.
If you look at through the years, I still remember when New England Patriots sucked.
Yes.
When I grew up, the Patriots sucked. Andre Tippett was all they fucking had. Then they got that quarterback Drew
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe for a couple of years, and then Tom Brady showed up. Bledsoe killed himself. And that was the end of that fuck. People, 20 years ago when I came here, the Laugh Factory was the hottest club on the fucking strip.
Yeah.
Go to the Laugh Factory now. You can't have a decent bingo game in there. The Comedy Store, was a fucking armpit 20 years ago. So we shift. Things shift,
Always.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, they showed you 2 weeks ago. The Niners were the kings 30 years ago. Joe Montana was the king. Something happened. It takes a while. It takes a while to rebuild and get your legs back, and then you're there again. Sometimes we don't see them come in Kansas City. It's not like they were fucking the last 8 years. They've been in the playoffs straight. We didn't see them coming. So that's the good thing about watching sports, and even with comedy.
Yeah.
With comedy, like I said, it's the little moral victories that add up. And once you have 20 moral victories, that's when you're ready to attack.
Yeah.
Little things.
Sinatra fell off for a while. Shit, you're allowed to fall off.
Yeah.
And then you come back.
That makes you stronger.
Yeah.
That makes you fucking stronger. You got any dates you want to promote, brother?
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Where am I? I'm going to be at the West Palm Improv February 29th. I'll be at the Royal Oak Comedy Castle March 5th through 7th. Gotham in New York City March 19th through 21st. And the following weekend, I'll be in the Charlotte Comedy Zone.
You're a bad motherfucker. I will be at Treasure Island Friday night. Viva motherfucking Las Vegas with my boy Dean Del Rizzi. Tickets are still available. Knock yourself out. Friday night, Treasure Island. And then I don't have a date again until March 27th at the Arlington Theater up in Santa Barbara. Real quick, the church is brought to you by MeUndies. Listen, unless if you've been living under a rock, you've heard about MeUndies. They're going for the total undie domination, and they won't stop till every podcast listener is wearing one of these things. I've been fucking singing their praises for years. My drawers are fucking packed. Why? Because they're comfortable, they're light, they're soft, and they keep your balls nice and dry. They figured out the secret of softness. Micro modal fabric. You're going to love this stuff. It's made from trees. It's sustainable. It's stretchy, yet firm, nice, and cozy. It keeps your nuts nice, like Bikram. You ever see the Bikram documentary? The way that fucking guy wore those little panties and it kept his little Hindu nuts tight to his fucking thing. Yet it stays smooth, especially after multiple washes. Plus, MeUndies is fucking everything. Socks, loungewear, joggers, robes, slippers, even baby clothes. Personally, I'm into all the joggers because you know how much Uncle Joey loves fucking comfort, and these things are comfortable as fuck. Speaking of love, MeUndies is showing you love with the killer fucking offer for the church family. You ready? Grab a pen. Go to MeUndies right now. Pick something. But go with the joggers. You're going to love them. You're going to get 15% off and free shipping on your first purchase. Who takes care of you like that on a Monday morning? It's cold. You need some new underwear. Enough with those white fucking candy white underwear from 1960. You take your pants off and chicks gonna laugh at you. You show up in MeUndies, they know you're ready to sling dick. You understand me? So go to MeUndies right now. .com/Joey and get 15% off and free shipping on your first purchase. Plus, you get MeUndies 100% satisfaction guarantee. That's 15% off, free shipping, and 100% money-back guarantee. So go to MeUndies.com/Joey right now. Cut this shit and slip into something a little bit more comfortable. I want to thank my man Sam Morril.
Thank you, man.
I want to thank the Christ Killer coming in heavy today. And I want to thank you motherfuckers.
Can I say one other
back.
thing, Joey? I forgot to say, I actually have a basketball podcast called Pod Don't Lie, which is it's on iTunes, and it's only basketball. So if you like basketball,
Just
you're gonna
all NBA college.
all NBA. Pod Don't Lie with my buddy Stavros. It's a ton of fun. It's
No
just silly.
college?
We only do NBA,
Okay.
but it's fun as hell, man. And no, this is fun. It's a lot of fun talking to you guys today.
Fucking, I'm happy you came on. A real New York. I'm surprised you didn't come on with a buttered roll or something like that. Treasure Island Friday night. I'll see you guys Wednesday morning. Tip top Magoo, ready to go. I love you, cocksucker. Stay black. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. What the fuck am I saying?